Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. Got you your latest on a Thursday. Yesterday in Charleston had a seasonable high, 80 degrees. That's right at average, and a low at 50, 8 below average for that. Today, we have a large area of high pressure that's been building in from the north. That'll translate to quiet weather for us. Light winds, sunny to mostly sunny skies, and dry. Flies here, but forecast it starts at home. Looking first to the left there, Washington, D.C., 89 today, and near daily record heat for Friday and Saturday, 92 and 95, respectively. Elsewhere, a cold front pushed south across Florida this week, so we have some cool 80s in spots like Orlando and Tampa near 89. Then I'll watch for some chances of potential rain for the weekend. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we got low to mid 80s today, dry, pleasant start to the day, warmer than average highs, lows in the mid to upper 50s. For the weekend, around late Saturday night, favored for some chances of showers and storms, some heavy rain and an isolated severe storm, maybe possible middle of the weekend. So I'll keep eyes on that potential. Highs 70s and 80s to the east, potentially approaching near 90. Far eastern areas today, so warm to warmer than average, and lows around the 50s overnight tonight to near 60. From east to west, some 70s up in the higher elevations. Everywhere else generally in the ranks of the mid to some upper 80s today, and lows around the 50s overnight tonight and dry. To the south, dry conditions. Highs ranging from the upper 70s to mostly mid-80s, near 87 in Huntington today, near 60 tonight. Charleston, mostly sunny. Sunglasses, sunscreen weather for you. High near 87. Some warmer temperatures for the weekend, 89 on Friday, 90 on Saturday. With our next front pushing in from the north, chance of showers and storms, heavy rain, some isolated severe weather, maybe possible second half of the weekend. Most likely dry next week with some warm to hot temps at some point next week.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Heading into the home stretch Thursday afternoon. It's Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK or text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
One step closer to the weekend. A beautiful day here in the capital city. Hope that it's a beautiful day wherever you are across the great state of West Virginia as well. It's Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK or text 304-TALK-304. A bit of breaking news here. Just talked to Chris Lawrence in the newsroom. We are working on getting more information about this. The president is coming out with another announcement of the support for the coal industry. Now, the White House is telling News Nation that $425 million will be sent to 13 different coal plants in places such as West Virginia, Kentucky, and a couple of other states as well. And we are working on the story right now. We'll try to have something on the air and online at wvmetronews.com. But again, it's breaking sort of, and he's alluded to this several months ago. But there is an announcement, a new announcement forthcoming that about $425 million is expected to go to 13 different coal plants, including those in West Virginia and Kentucky. On our parking lot here at 1111 Virginia Street East in downtown Charleston, it is the annual Drop Your Snacks event benefiting Union Mission. And more importantly, we're working with Union Mission benefiting a lot of kids in the state of West Virginia. Robb Real, Up Real Early is the name of the show. Superstar Country 96.1 KWS is with us, along with Jason Quintrel from Union Mission. Robb, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having us back. Always appreciate the opportunity to help our friends and neighbors here in West Virginia. Union Mission is a 55-county organization, so if you find yourself in the Eastern Panhandle or in the Southern Coalfields wondering, well, why are we talking about an event in Charleston? This is going to touch, hopefully, and unfortunately at the same time, kids all over the Mountain State. Until 6 o'clock this evening at our studios, 1111 Virginia Street East in downtown Charleston, we are collecting non-perishable food items, shelf-stable stuff, to fill in the gaps for food insecure West Virginia kids. Think about all of the 2/3 of West Virginia students who are on free or reduced cost meals at their school. Think about the dread they feel on a Friday afternoon, knowing the weekend's coming, knowing that they're not going to have enough food, if any at all. Now extrapolate that over an entire summer, and we are just trying to feed West Virginia kids tonight until 6 o'clock.
Jason?
So I don't want to jinx anything, Dave, but it's gone pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
We are actually on our second truck.
No, that's good news.
But there's still a lot more work to do. And
Right.
we're here till 6, so.
Yeah, and I mean, I always say that we have the greatest listeners in the world, whether it's here in Charleston or one of our other WVRC media stations, because they all do events of some kind and to help out the community. And that's a great thing about having a statewide radio network is, again, that we're in all corners of the state of West Virginia. And as Rob said, even if you're not in Charleston, you can go to wefeedpeople.com and you can make a donation there. And I mean, we set up shop out here in the parking lot at 7 o'clock this morning, and almost immediately. How long did it take, Rob? I know you were out there. How long did it take for the first vehicle to come in with a donation of some sort?
So for those of you playing our home game, I'm doing my show live while we do this, and
true.
And before I could go back in to do the first live talk of the 7 o'clock hour, so by 7:09, we had our first major donation. And it's been fairly steady all day. We have done well on both the non-perishable food items. We're halfway through our second truck already, and also done quite well on those monetary donations. So cash, check, in person, those are safe and secure. WeFeedPeople.com, safe and secure credit and debit card donations. And it's worth noting that if you find yourself thinking, well, we have this backpack program in our town, or we have, these schools in our area are feeding kids in the summer. Many, if not most, of those programs are supported by Union Mission or by a likewise organization. So you are literally feeding into that program in your hometown when you help today.
And you may not even realize it, Jason.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And some of the items that we're looking for, I mean, I'm just going to throw a couple up here. Granola bars, protein bars, individually wrapped crackers, goldfish crackers, pretzels, trail mixes of all kinds, popcorn, fruit snacks, applesauce, raisins and dried fruit, shelf-stable pudding cups, shelf-stable juice boxes, breakfast items, dry cereal, breakfast bars, pancake mixes, peanut butter, tuna packets, chicken packets. I went out there, man. There was an entire case of ramen noodles out there.
Surprisingly protein dense are ramen noodles, by the
Oddly
way.
enough, so am I.
Well, you're half that at least.
Soup cups, mac and cheese cups. And Rob always tells the story because Rob does eat like a
teenage raccoon. Is
like
what
a teenage raccoon. If he goes to the store and he's buying stuff that he'll eat, he'll buy stuff for the kids.
Yeah, my rule of thumb on these is if I'm buying one for myself, I just buy one more for the kids. And everything that I contributed was something that I was going to eat. So not that I was going to eat that particular package, but that's just I am also fortunate that I have enough kids in my sphere, the recovering Mrs. Real, which is what I kindly call my ex-wife, who's still a great friend, and she laughs at that. She is a junior high math teacher, and so she keeps me tapped into the kinds of things that kids like and are eating. Takis are very big, those snacks. Flamin' Hot Cheetos are particularly popular these days. So the kids like the spicy. So
Which is really weird.
Yeah.
You and I talked about that on the local show because when I was a kid, back when I was a boy.
back when the world was in black and white,
it was.
and Mary Tyler Moore was still wearing capri pants.
Yeah, and we took the stagecoach to school.
Uphill both ways.
I have always been a person that likes spicy food.
Yes.
Always. I had a Tabasco sauce bottle in my locker in like kindergarten. I mean, literally. That probably explains a lot. But it's odd to me that the kids like the spicy food now.
Oh, yeah, you ought to see what they do with Takis. They'll crunch them up in a sandwich bag and take a dill pickle and dip into the Takis and eat. It's amazing. And if you've never tried that, it's pretty freaking amazing.
Rob,
I learned that from my kids, actually.
If anything, this triumvirate knows about bad food.
Yeah, well, and I think you may have lost your title as a teenage raccoon or whatever it was you called yourself, because I think you're just as bad there, Jason.
Yeah.
Talk about the work of Union Mission throughout the state. As Rob said, many of these wonderful programs work with Union Mission or alongside you. You guys do a whole lot more than just food. We worked with you when we collected items for flood victims. We work with you every year on when we collect socks that we do in the wintertime, our turkey drive. But talk about the overall mission of Union Mission.
So what we want to be is whatever the community needs us to be. And we do a ton of work in addiction recovery. I mean, a ton of work in addiction recovery. And we've got a 25-bed recovery. We've got a 25-bed sober living. We've got a 10-bed level 1 sober living. They're all WAVAR licensed. We do a ton of work in recovery. And we understand, number one, addiction in overdose deaths here in the country. Mm-hmm. And we work tirelessly. Mm-hmm. Along with other people. I'm not saying we're the only ones by any stretch of the imagination, but we do a lot of addiction work. We do feed. Our warehouse will send 30 to 90,000 pounds of food a month out. And that's at least 15 different counties in the state of West Virginia. Right. We do a lot of work in the homeless community. And I'm just going to say it. We see a lot of results. I mean, in 2025, we saw 67 men off the streets and into some sort of housing, which means either recovery or they have their own apartment or moved or have been moved back with their family. Yeah, that's huge.
It's absolutely huge. It's absolutely huge.
We try to be what the community needs us to be, and that's what Union Mission has done for 115 years.
And when you talk about, Jason, the work in collecting food items like we are now, unfortunately, not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, it kind of goes hand in hand. You know, not having enough food and the opioid crisis that we're still going through, or whatever the drug of choices that we're still. I mean, a lot of times, I don't want to stereotype, but a lot of times these things kind of go together.
Sure, it does. Let me tell you just real quick. You know, we met with the Clay County Board, or one particular individual from Clay County, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and she was telling us a story about a young man that when he gets food at school to bring home, he gets off the bus and he's been instructed to take that the school gives him a trash bag to put that food in and tie it up. When he gets off the bus, he has a place in the woods where he stores that food, because if he takes it home, other people in the home will eat it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Or in some cases, we've even heard stories
they'll fence it
about it being sold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, there's not a whole lot with it that you guys can do about that. But
so I will say the strident thing. I will look down the barrel of the camera for those who are watching on Metro News TV and tell you that I understand there are policy issues, and we all feel some kind of way about why the situation is the way that it is. And if you would like to do something about the policy, there's a glittery golden dome about a mile away from where we're sitting, where you can go and shake your fist and say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. But at the end of the day, you can have whatever feeling you want about what able-bodied adults can, would, and should do. But there is no reason for a kid to suffer hungry.
Sure.
It's never a kid's fault that the kid is poor. And whatever else you want to do, however else you want to feel about everything else, at the end of the day, we are here trying to feed kids.
Right.
And again, we're doing this on our parking lot, 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston, up until 6 o'clock tonight. I want to give a big shout out to the folks at Chick-fil-A. They are a great partner of ours in these things, because they realize that we have a staff out there that's working. We have volunteers that are out there working. And when we do these things, I think sometimes we don't even contact them. They hear us talking about it on the radio, and they contact us, and they say, hey, we're going to provide you guys with breakfast. And they did that this morning. The Pitch, which is located next to the Shawnee Sports Complex. Many of our listeners across the state have been there many, many times. Fantastic place. The Pitch provided us with lunch today for our staff and for the volunteers as well. So that goes a long way, too.
Yes, and I don't want it to get lost how many of the folks here at WVRC Media take on extra work in order to do this. I always bring up the story of producer Stephanie Pauly, who, when she signed on to come work with us, the ink was still drying on the paperwork. She was not officially an employee yet. And yet we had a drop event coming up, and she came and volunteered for almost an entire day.
That's true.
Those are the kinds of humans who are working here at this company. And so we mean it when we say we care about our community and we're proud to live here too. Everyone in this building, everyone who is connected to WVRC Media, we all still have our 40-hour full-time job
40
to
hours.
do.
40 hours. I remember my first part-time job.
Yeah, exactly. We all still have our full regular plate of food, and we're doing this in addition to. We're figuring out ways to carve out time to, again, help our friends and neighbors.
I mean, and that's a part of it, but I want to make sure we put the spotlight now on the listeners.
Yes.
Because, again, in all of our markets around the great state of West Virginia, we have the greatest listeners in the world. And whether it's our events in Charleston, whether it's events in the Panhandle, in Beckley, and wherever we are, our listeners show up for us, because we could come on here and flap our gums all we want to and probably make a few phone calls and get, corporate donations, which we do. But if it weren't for the listeners, the people that get up with you every morning at 5 a.m., the people that listen to the folks up in Morgantown or Elkins or wherever our stations are, then none of that's really going to matter, because they're the ones that keep us employed and keep doing the big jobs here. And I also want to give a big shout out to a local businessman here in Charleston. We know him as Tony the Tailor, Tony Peranzino. And Tony was listening to my local show in Charleston this morning when you guys were on the air, and Tony sent me a text to my personal phone, and so I can't believe I gave that guy my phone number. But
What did you learn?
Not to, well,
I'm kind of glad you did.
to get a burner phone.
There you go.
But he texted me and he said, I'm going to challenge other area businesses. I'm going to donate $500, and if I can get 3 more businesses here in the Charleston area to donate the same, then I will give another $500. And within a matter of what, guys, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I got Don Wilson from Capital Insurance here in Charleston that let Tony know. A couple of attorneys, Harvey Payton
and Bernie Lane
from the Payton Law Firm, who does a show here in Charleston every Thursday morning. He called, Ryan was producing that show as well, called Ryan and said, yeah, put me down. And I'm sure there's been other people that's come forward since then. We've had elected officials that have come by today, at least 2 or 3 and I've had very limited time out there. My big shift will start after 3 o'clock out there, but we've had elected officials that have stopped by. And when I say that, they didn't pose for pictures.
No.
They didn't come in and say, hey, can you get me, not that I'm aware of, can you get a picture of me donating this bags of popcorn or whatever. No, that's not why they did it. They did it just because it's the right thing to do.
We have so many wonderful listeners, and the thing we have done over the past 3 years with these drop events is to build a structure that is easily repeatable and easy to remember. We always do it on a Thursday. We always do it here at 1111 Virginia Street East. We always work with Union Mission. We always go from 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening, such that as an example, Live on the Levee is the free concert series in downtown Charleston on Friday nights through the summer. And Sherry Workman from the Valkyries, the motorcycle gals, comes up to me at the very first Live on the Levee and said, okay, so I remember that and recited all those details. What is it you need this time? That was the only question that we have to answer. So now it's snacks in June, it's turkeys in November, it's socks in January, or we have the occasional special one-off for like flood relief when we did buckets. But because we have created this thing that hopefully makes it very simple for very busy people, but Sherry and folks like that were, okay, what is it that you need? I know all the rest. What is it that you need? And by goodness, she showed up with a truck full about noon today. And so, shout out to the Valkyries and all of the folks who come through for our friends and neighbors, whether it's one package of toasty crackers or it's an entire truckload of apples from Martinsburg.
which we had last year.
That was
We did.
amazing.
It was amazing last year.
That
A
was
big old
amazing.
truck rolls in from Martinsburg with a truckload of apples, bushels and bushels of apples. All right, this event is going to be going on until 6 o'clock tonight on our parking lot, 1111 Virginia Street East, downtown Charleston. For those of you that are familiar with the area, we're just up the street from Charleston Catholic, and Rob always says get off on Leon Sullivan Way if you're coming on the fancy New Doug Road.
Yep.
You can pull right off there. And again, if you're listening to us around the state of West Virginia and you want to donate, wefeedpeople.com. WeFeedPeople.com. Jason, there's like a drop menu on that, right?
There'll be a donate now button. You
Okay.
can hit that button and you can tag whatever you want to give to.
All right. Rob's face was actually going from bright red as it was. It was starting to get a little bit more of the pasty color back in it. So we got to get him back out there so it can go red again.
Yes, yeah, I've reached a reasonable temperature once again. I laugh as I say that as somebody who's been in full dress blue uniform in the sandbox in 130-degree heat. So standing on that blacktop is not any level of suffering for me, honestly. But I remember being that kid growing up, being the one who was food insecure, who was wondering if I was going to get through the weekend with enough to eat. So obviously this is something that touches me deep in my core. That's why I'm able to be out there doing it. I know it touches a lot of West Virginia families.
Okay.
And so we'd love to see you before 6.
All right. And guys, appreciate it. And we'll have more when we come back. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All-new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All-new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing, that they didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. That is so
Join
true.
Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
West Virginia's on the rise. New businesses, new opportunities, and a strong, resilient workforce leading the way. Check out the full story at WVNRich.com. A video presentation sponsored by Huntington Bank. Proud to be investing in the future of West Virginia. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. What is on your mind, West Virginia? When we come back from the bottom of the hour break, we'll hear from you. You can call me. You can still do that. Phone still works, as far as I know. Stephanie paid the bill. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number, 1-800-765-8255, or you can text me, 304-TALK-304, and we shall talk. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. State softball tournament continuing as we speak. Little Creek Park in Charleston. Catch all the action, video highlights, the audio, the scores, and more at WVMetroNews.com. We are back after this. And now we'll go to
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. Got you your latest on a Thursday. Yesterday in Charleston had a seasonable high, 80 degrees. That's right at average, and a low at 50, 8 below average for that. Today, we have a large area of high pressure that's been building in from the north. That'll translate to quiet weather for us. Light winds, sunny to mostly sunny skies, and dry. Flies here, but forecast it starts at home. Looking first to the left there, Washington, D.C., 89 today, and near daily record heat for Friday and Saturday, 92 and 95, respectively. Elsewhere, a cold front pushed south across Florida this week, so we have some cool 80s in spots like Orlando and Tampa near 89. Then I'll watch for some chances of potential rain for the weekend. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we got low to mid-80s today, dry. Pleasant start to the day, warmer than average highs, lows in the mid to upper 50s. For the weekend, around late Saturday night, favored for some chances of showers and storms, some heavy rain and an isolated severe storm, maybe possible middle of the weekend. So I'll keep eyes on that potential. Highs 70s and 80s to the east, potentially approaching near 90. Far eastern areas today, so warm to warmer than average, and lows around the 50s overnight tonight to near 60. From east to west, some 70s up in the higher elevations. Everywhere else generally in the ranks of the mid to some upper 80s today, and lows around the 50s overnight tonight and dry. To the south, dry conditions. Highs ranging from the upper 70s to mostly mid 80s, near 87 in Huntington today, near 60 tonight. Charleston, mostly sunny. Sunglasses, sunscreen weather for you. High near 87. Some warmer temperatures for the weekend, 89 on Friday, 90 on Saturday. With our next front pushing in from the north, chance of showers and storms, heavy rain, some isolated severe weather, maybe possible second half of the weekend. Most likely dry next week with some warm to hot temps at some point next week.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Wildfires. Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. Yes, indeed, one step closer to the weekend. I mean, I have never been one of those people that has always said, gosh, it's hard to believe it's June, or it's hard to believe it's the end of the year, or whatever the case may be. But I've always said it is what it is. Time is time, whatever. This week, though, man, seems like it's been the longest week. And I don't know exactly why that is, but it's only Thursday. It should already be like Saturday by now. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. I do want to do a little programming note for you. As you know, we do a series of programs on Metro News Television called State of Minds, and we feature a variety of different topics on there. You know, Hoppy does them, Tony Caridi does them. But I do want to let you know that Hoppy's been doing something. He's been putting together something that is special. And we all know about the discussion about data centers around the state of West Virginia. But there's so many unanswered questions about data centers. And I feel sometimes that many people are just so dug in their particular belief about data centers that they're not going to hear the other side. You're pro data center. You're not going to hear a thing that folks that have questions, comments, concerns about data centers are. We got to have them. And then the opposite is also true, even when presented with facts. Both sides presented with facts, neither side agrees with the facts. So my point is Hoppy trying to alleviate some of that. He's actually sitting down over the next 3 weeks with 3 different people with 3 totally different perspectives from what I understand about data centers. And these drop Thursday evenings at 7:30 on Metro News Television. First up is actually going to be today. Today. I checked the calendar here today with Chris Morris, who is the director of the West Virginia Data Economy Office. Now, Chris has been on this show and on Talkline and other shows in the past. Very, very knowledgeable when it comes to data centers. All right, that one is going to be today. The executive director of Tucker United is going to be on the show next week, and then the following week, which would be June 18th, the Executive Vice President of Energy Infrastructure Investments of QTS Data Centers is going to join Hoppy for that. So, again, you're getting different perspectives here, everything from economic development and job creation to local concerns, community impact, and this is designed to answer some of those questions, and you are getting it, as Hoppy says, or the Post says on social media, 3 conversations and 3 different perspectives. So as this has turned into one of those really hot topic, hot button topics, I should say, over the last year or so. And look, data centers have been around since the 1940s, okay? However, I'm not going to be naive enough to say that the data center in 2026 is the same as what it was in 1945, okay? It's not. The data center in 2026 is not the same as the data center of, say, 2023, okay, because it's ever evolving. And it's got a lot of communities up in arms, not only in West Virginia, this is happening in other places as well. And when you factor in the political part of it with the legislature and the bill that passed that everybody was upset about, some people passed it, said they didn't really understand it, but they passed it anyway, so on and so forth. It's a topic, and look, I'm going to quote my coworker TJ Meadows, who said, data centers are here. They've been here for a long time, and they're going to continue to come. And that's just the way it is. So we can learn to work with it. We can learn to totally fight. You do whatever you want to do, but you at least need to have the information and be able to understand the other sides. If you are 100% pro data center, absolutely, you owe it to yourself to listen to the comments, questions, and concerns of the other side, and vice versa. So we hope that you'll check this out. New episodes are going to drop every Thursday night at 7:30 on Metro News TV. And again, the first one is tonight with Chris Morris, director of the West Virginia Data Economy Office. That will drop at 7:30 tonight. And somebody from a totally different perspective will be on next week and then the following week. So 3 different conversations, 3 different perspectives. They'll drop Thursday night, State of Mind, 7:30 on Metro News Television. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. On the discussion on Harmon, says the texter, Harmon is small. Pickens Elementary and High School is similar. The student population of Pickens Elementary and High School is 29, and the school serves PK through 12, says a texter. Text says, going back to your discussion on the media, Scott Pelley and 60 Minutes have been Democrat shills for years, says the texter. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't catch as many episodes of 60 Minutes as probably what I should. Generally speaking, on Sunday night, I'm starting to wind down thinking, okay, what's my Monday going to look like? Or if it comes on right after the football games, that's always important in the life of Dave. You know, I'm that guy that still like watches things on live television. I know I'm weird that way. But that has been a knock on 60 Minutes for years, is that it had a liberal slant. Now, whether that's earned or what, I don't know. And look, as Burke Allen and I were talking about during the 12 o'clock hour, I hope you had a chance to listen on that conversation. There's 2, 3, 4 sides to this story. Scott Pelley was fired by CBS News. He is there. I mean, CBS News is the employer. They can do what they want, and you know that, and I know that, and you and your job probably know that as well. They can fire you for anything or for nothing. Scott Pelley spoke up. They say that it was in a very disrespectful manner, and so he was shown the door. And there's many people that say, man, it's probably not such a bad thing, and that's what he wanted to have happen. So I don't know. I just know that from my perspective only, that the less voices that we have out there, the worse off we are. All right, I like different voices. I like people from differing opinions. And the way that we consume media has changed more in the last 5 to 10 years than it did in the previous 30 to 40. And I think anybody who knows anything about the media industry would probably tell you that. And so now there's different voices, there's different channels, so on and so forth. So Scott Pelley ain't going away. Stephen Colbert's not going away. Anybody else, they're not going away. But I do appreciate the text. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, watching the state Democratic Party trying to remain relevant is both funny and sad at the same time. Again, much like I said with the media, I don't like a one-party system. I'm a registered independent. I have been a Republican in my life. I've been a Democrat in my life. I like 2, 3 different perspectives. I do. And the Democratic Party is not what it once was, but then we had, a great number of years that the Republican Party, I don't know say that it was irrelevant, but I will say in certain parts of West Virginia, the Republican Party was completely irrelevant, non-existent almost, and that has started to change. Text asking, because I know you're a foodie, Dave, Parkway or Morrison's? Ah, yes, the great drive-in debate from Logan County. We've featured both of them, I think, on the Lunch Spot. Fun fact for those of you that are familiar with those 2 fine eating establishments in Logan County, they're owned by the same guy. It hasn't always been that way, but a guy by the name of Jay Mayhorn, who I've interviewed on the Lunch Spot segment, owns both Morrison's and Parkway. They're both fine restaurants, okay? But if you go to Philadelphia and you have that conversation on cheesesteaks, people were going to say it's Geno's or Pat's. You're either a Geno's person or you're a Pat's person. It's the same way with hot dogs in Logan County. You're either a Parkway person or you're a Morrison's person. I tend to be a Morrison's person because I like the spicier chili. But when it comes to burgers, I tend to like Parkway better. So how's that for riding the fence? 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, if the governor or the guy you had on the show the other day thinks every pothole in the state has been filled. I have some beachfront property in Wayne County to sell you. But, okay, appreciate the text. Is it near East Lynn? Because there are beaches at East Lynn. Just saying. Text says, your media guest, horrible guest, must not have watched 60 Minutes after the year 2000. Well, I promise you that the president of Allen Media Strategies, Burke Allen, has watched 60 Minutes past the year 2000. 243, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday. We're back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Calva Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Calva Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Calva GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Calva GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the show. 13 away from 3 o'clock. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK, or you can text me 304-TALK-304. Let's go to the phones, and let's talk to Bob in Charleston. You're on the air. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Dave. In today's environment, I think people have to realize that if Jesus Christ came back to earth and wanted to rebuild the temple in Putnam County, we would have a group of concerned citizens that would be against it.
All right. Bob, I appreciate your phone call. Thanks a lot. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the whole religious aspect of it, but I will say this: I applaud people for asking questions when it comes to data centers or anything else. I want people to be informed on both sides of the outlook. Data centers are not going away, and until we stop using data centers are not going away. And I have not seen any clue, anything to show me otherwise that this country is willing to step away from using data. And now when it comes to AI, I mean, look, there are those of us that aren't exactly quick to embrace technology. I am one of those people, guilty as charged. But AI is not going anywhere, folks. Well, until it kills us all. 1-800-765-TALK is a phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, your guest on media clearly suffering from TDS, that meaning Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, I'll tell you, Big Brother Burke is taking it. He's taking it today. Text, I'm proposing John Finley and Patrick Morrissey versus TJ Meadows and Brian Dayton at the next WrestleMania. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, and I got this text early in the show, and I did a little research. Text was, hey guys, any reports on attendance at the West Virginia-Kentucky game on Sunday? When I got that text earlier, I reached out to my good friend, Brad Howell at Metro News Sports. And he says 4,184. That was the announced attendance. Now, that probably, as the texter pointed out, will that number include all the ones on Randy's Ridge? I am going to say probably not to that. Probably not. But according to Brad Howell of Metro News Sports, 4,184 was the answer to that. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says Larry Pack for governor. Well, there have been people that have said similar things, that Mr. Pack may indeed run for governor. I've interviewed him a couple times, and with all due respect to Larry Pack, and I do have a lot of respect for Mr. Pack. I've known him for a number of years. When you ask him that question, what's in the future, what are you going to do, blah, 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 he gives you the typical political answer, which is, and again, I'm not throwing off on Larry Pack, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying he's saying exactly what I would say if I were in that position. Well, I'm going to work for the people of West Virginia, and we'll see what happens. And that's the only answer you can give. I mean, because if Larry Pack decides to run for governor, which many people think that he will, he's probably not going to run if Jim Justice comes back to run for governor. Now, I am one of those, and write this down so you can prove to me that I'm wrong in a couple of years. I am one of those people that thinks that Jim Justice is not going to come back to run for governor. I don't see it happening. Could be totally wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it happening. But I will say this: if Jim Justice runs for governor, Larry Pack will not run for governor. I feel pretty confident in saying that. If not, I think Larry Pack. And he's never told me anything on air or off air to try to sway me one way or the other. I think our state treasurer Larry Pack wants to be governor. I do. And look, more power to him. I think he'd make a fine governor. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says another June filled with this Pride Month garbage. Give it up, people. No one cares. Well, they do care. They do care. Text, Dave, people talk about the media being liberal. That's because the majority of the country is liberal. That's not even close, says the texter. Is the majority of the country liberal? Because I'm going to say, basing this on nothing other than what's in my sometimes crazed head, that I think the majority of the country is probably somewhere down the middle. And I think that has been one of the fallacies, if you will, of a lot of political pundits. And we've kind of painted ourselves into this corner. You are liberal. You are conservative. And this is where I had an issue being a Republican, to be quite honest with you, is people have different views based on their life experiences. And to say that all Democrats are open to borders, pro-pot, whatever, is not right. And to say that all Republicans are, spoiler alert, I know Republicans that are pro-choice. I do. 253, that's just one of the topics I'm throwing out there. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Let's see. Congratulations on your diagnosis, Dave. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Text says, disagree with both you and the texter, Dave. Best hot dog in Logan is at the Dairy Delight across from Kroger. It's a pretty darn good dog. Get the foot long, add cheese and slaw if you go there. And with that, we'll wrap it up and come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Welcome back to the show. Just about to close out this Thursday edition of Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. I will remind you that our Drop Your Snacks event continues on our parking lot, 1111 Virginia Street East, downtown Charleston, between now and 6 p.m. this evening. Union Mission, Charleston Dirty Birds helping us out. And no matter where you are in West Virginia, go to wefeedpeople.com. You can make your donations there. Mr. Weekly is with us. How you
I
doing,
swung
man?
by and got some snacks.
Yeah, that's not the way that works, Dave. You're supposed to donate the snacks. All right. I see that you also helped yourself to a little food there, courtesy of the fine folks at the Pitch.
Yeah. I got some of the barbecue.
Yeah. When do I have barbecue?
Well, follow me, man. I'll take care of you.
I didn't see barbecue. I saw like taco stuff out there.
There's some pork out there. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
good.
Well, it's good stuff. I've eaten at the Pitch several times. It's located next to the Shawnee Sports Complex. For those that are out of the area, chances are, if you got kids, you've been to the Shawnee Sports Complex. The food there is very, very good. But I'd never had this particular kind of food from there. They basically set us up for the volunteers with like a taco bar kind of a thing. It was very, very good.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
What you doing on that little experiment of yours today?
You know what? You know what today's anniversary is?
What is that?
Today is the 52nd anniversary of 10-cent beer night in
Cleveland?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't there, of course, but
they had streakers. When was the last time anybody ever saw a streaker?
You mean today?
Today.
It is down.
You see that guy at the ball game last night who popped up on the floor to get a selfie with Wemby in the middle of the second half?
No, I did not. Look, we're in downtown Charleston. You might see anything here. I'm just saying. You might see anything in our building, as a matter of fact. But enough about Woody Woods. Anyway, a hotline coming up on many of the same Metro News stations. Our producer, Ryan and Stephanie, thank you so much. I'll be back again to do this particular show tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.